Good afternoon, early evening, everyone. This is meteorologist Ted Keller summing up this winter storm. And really, the Ozarks came off relatively unscathed. One thing that I thought might happen is that a lot of sleet would mix in with what would otherwise be a freezing rain situation, which cut down on the ice accumulations quite a bit. But all in all, ongoing forecasts were very good, and I think describe this storm very well. You can see it rotating here, the upper level system, that low. Quite impressive looking at this water vapor loop spinning there over Kansas. Of course, that's where all the heavy snow is laid down. I'll show you some of those totals here in a minute. They exceeded a foot in many areas. And then here within the last couple of hours, we had the dry slot, drier air aloft moving in. So really major precipitation pretty much comes to an end, especially in winter when that happens. You might get some freezing drizzle tonight and this evening, but it wouldn't add significantly to what has already fallen. And of course the main precipitation band can be seen here now, arcing quickly, being pushed by the jet stream winds off to the northeast. Severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings down in Louisiana, and that pretty much describes the spring side of the storm. So let's zoom in a little bit here again. Southwest Missouri looking in pretty good shape. We'll turn the radar on, see what's going on, and then we'll ask it to make a precipitation interpretation. And this works somewhat. If you're looking at automated radar systems on the internet, they don't always work right because they key in very much on surface observations, and they do very little to take into account the entire picture. So take it with a grain of salt when you see this, for instance, is supposed to be sleet, this is supposed to be freezing rain, this is snow. It may work, or in some cases it may not. That's why you need some interpretation. But we're sitting here clear, really, not worried about anything else. There is some snow, of course, still going on here, but that is going to arc up toward Kansas City as a little second wave for them and not affect the Ozarks any. So again, we don't have any more significant precipitation to concern ourselves with. Let's turn on the reports of basically what happened, local storm reports. I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning on this. And first of all, let me show you, if it looks like that, that's basically sleet with the little bouncy arrow, because that's what sleet does, it bounces. And so we had National Weather Service employee measuring about 1 inch of sleet and about 1/10 of an inch of ice secretion on branches and wires. So most of the reports in Missouri, not all, but most, were sleet with a little bit of ice. This is early this morning. We had 1/2 inch ice accumulations around Oak Grove there, north of Fayetteville, 1/10 of an inch there in Benton County, also in Carroll County, then some sleet reports of 1 inch. And then what we're going to do is just move this forward through time here, and you'll start to see, and this worked out really well, ongoing forecasts that I was making earlier actually in this case worked out. I'm pleased to report that the heaviest accumulation of ice, 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch totals, were down here in north central Arkansas. And later on did leak, if you will, over into southern Missouri. I'll just move this forward. You start to see some, again, 0.25 inch accumulation of ice on branches there just in southern, right around Thayer in Oregon County, and there in northern parts of Howell County. Zoom in, and again, sleet reports like West Plains, for example. Now, let's take a look at these snow totals. Let's go, let's see. Let's go backwards and start forwards again. This is several hours ago, up around McPherson in Kansas, 12 inches, a foot of snow there, around Hutchinson as well. We had a 14-inch total out here around Maxville. This was gaining speed on the Kansas City area at the time. This was valid 10-inch totals, 9-inch totals there. So we'll go through time and you'll see how the snow totals started racking up pretty good upstate, with Columbia in Boone County reporting 9 inches, 7 inches of snow around Callaway. And this is really close to the Ozarks here. We had about 6-inch totals around in Cole County, Missouri, 4-inch totals that started getting into the St. Louis area within the last couple of hours, and I'll advance it to the very last loop here. You'll see there was an 11-inch total finally in Columbia. 5 to 6-inch totals common around the St. Louis area, and more 1-inch sleet reports basically from southwest Missouri. So that's a summary of the storm. We don't really have anything too major to look forward to in the next couple of days, or even I think the next week or so. Some ups and downs in temperatures, trending toward colder. I'll have another video report and a forecast coming up about 24 hours from now.